it back. Let's start the shot again. So tomorrow I'm not working this type of hour. I'm gonna be here earlier tomorrow because I gotta be in the Bronx. So I gotta work early. I usually get to work at 8 o'clock. But tonight I'm working 9 to 12. So I gotta shut off the camera at 11 o'clock at night because we try to get enough shots done as possible. So we wanna get it done as soon as possible, you know? Probably gonna shut the camera off at 11:30. Yeah, because that's the time I gotta shut it off anyway. Because you can't, because if these people will clock you if you work overtime. They will clock you. That's just what it is. This is 48th and 49th. So we on 49th at Northern. What we can do, we could take this block up to the next street. So that's the Q104 right there. So right there's Home Depot. So right behind me is Guitar Center, Old Navy. That's the mall right there. Oh yeah. And this is the diner. This diner has been here for a long time. I used to eat from here. I used to eat their breakfast in the morning. When I used to come here, oh yeah. I ain't tell you, I used to come here during the morning. I was like treat myself to something breakfast. I used to come to the diner. A sweet woman used to help me out. I used to order a egg white toast with egg whites with toast, and she used to make me a cup of coffee. And then once I used to sit here at the diner right behind me, and I used to wait for. I had an interview. When I had an interview over by the Guitar Center, I had like an interview. So I did like an interview where they filmed me playing the piano and everything like that. And yeah, and that interview was very inspirational. And I encourage people to get their life together, change their surroundings. You feel me? So yeah. We got 3 minutes. I used to give a encouragement message about changing your surroundings, changing the way of thinking in your life. And look at that. That's disgusting. Food on the floor. So that's the world for you. So a lot of people thought about what makes them change, you know? And it changes becomes a success in your life where you change in what you do and how you do things, you know? And this is what my show is about, changing people's lives and testing their mental health and mentality. And when you test their mentality, you'll go successfully. But sometimes your mentality goes into different directions where you feel like your weight is an issue. You feel like you can't handle the truth. You feel like the truth can't handle you. And sometimes when you look at your life, you look at it differently because it's like, yo, I'm looking at my mental health success, but my success is not in my mental health. My success is different than my mental health. So you gotta look at it differently. But sometimes your mental health is like You feel like your life is a cycle, but your cycle's like, oh, I feel like crying, I feel like giving up. But it's not about giving up and crying, it's about pushing yourself to better things in your life, you feel me? And right there, if you want to make it, let me give you encouragement, young people. If you want to make it in society, in the world, you got to put what you're doing and start doing it big. If you say, I want to get a car, you got to work your way to get that car. Let's say you want to get a Jeep. You want to go to Dodge and get that Jeep. You can get that Jeep, you know. But what you got to do to get that Jeep, you got to put in the work. You feel me? You can't go get a Dodge and you say, oh, I want a Dodge, and you can't put in the work if you don't get a Dodge. You feel what I'm saying? But the business link is, you got to understand when you put in the work, you're gonna be successful. But you got to know how to gain success in your life. You got to be truthful to your own actions, man. And that's the only way you're going to make it, is for you to build. You feel what I'm saying? So you're trying to, like, you think about your life, you think about what you're doing, the opportunities in your life, and you're trying to be successful. How you going to build success if you're living like this? How you going to build success if you're living like that? How you going to be successful if you're living like this? You can't. Because a lot of people that ends up living like this, right? They used to be rich and famous, used to have money. And look where they end up, right back where they started. Because they don't make lifestyle choices in their life to build from what they used to do. And how they're going to maintain that skill. You feel me? This is a skill. You can't gain that skill if you don't put the work. You can't gain that skill if you can't put in the work for your life. And sometimes when you gain that skill, your mentality breaks because you're not doing it what you're supposed to be doing to make your life straight. And it's like, yo, I'm a build my mentor, but how my mentor is gonna stay in my society. You feel me? You gotta look at that too. You know? You can't just start from the bottom and you sit in there staring at, oh, I wanna be just like that person in life. And that person is not, you gonna be somebody in life and you end up like this. That's not how you grow, you feel me? And that's how you're not gonna be successful in life if you don't understand the purpose of what you're doing. Hold on. Hold on, press this. Oh God. I could do it for you. Sorry. Okay. So that's how you do it, right? You gotta understand your success is key. And how you're gonna build it is how you're gonna get to that position. We got 2 more blocks to walk. Gotta take that Q18.